Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 617. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Yo, yo.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 617 of the Moviecast. We are live streaming on Twitch Tuesday night starting at 8 o'clock. Please join us live. You can ask us some questions online while we're here.
Smash the
if you
follow
miss
button.
that one, I was going to say that. If you miss, we're on the day after on YouTube, so join us there. Again, smash the subscribe button, the like button, leave a comment. Yeah, we like to say smash.
Act like you're breaking your phone or your mouse.
Hulk smash.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, smash that. Yeah, I mean, smash it like Matt Murdock.
Thank you for taking the bait, Jim.
I did it.
I set you up there, and I was like, please.
You did. It was too good. It was like the first.
Oh,
smash
wasn't that
I missed.
Matt Murdock? She-Hulk smashed Matt Murdock.
Yeah, smash it like
the
Matt
other
Murdock,
way
that's what I
around.
said. Well, sure, but that's right, guys.
We didn't see it, so who knows how that went down.
We didn't. But did we all watch the finale for She-Hulk?
Except for Mike, obviously.
I did. No, I watched it.
Oh, you did.
So
Yeah.
I think
I
spoilers,
have
do we
different feelings, I think, than you guys do.
You might, because I had a similar vibe in the beginning of it, and I want to. We're gonna have to spoil. There's no way we can talk about this without spoiling it. I don't know how we're not supposed to. So I'm sorry, folks, if we're gonna spoil this section here. You might want to skip ahead a little bit. But when I first started the fourth wall break, I was like, I don't want them to do this. Please don't do this. And then they dove so hard into that break that I was like, fuck this. This is fantastic. I'm like, this is fucking incredible. Kevin, come on.
Yeah.
Like, at that point I was like, I was massively enjoying it. But when they first started the whole what was the vibe it got? Monty Python is a perfect way to the Monty Python Holy Grail kind of ending. When we started that, I was like, I don't want this. But then I'm watching, I'm like, this is amazing. They just leaned into it and they didn't stop. And that's what I was very happy to see.
Blazing Saddles kind of the same type of thing too.
Blazing Saddles, Blazing Saddles, another kind of ending like that.
Spider-Man animated series did the same type of thing too.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just I really enjoyed it. What do you guys, Tony?
Well,
Mike, you want to go ahead, Mike? You didn't.
Well, it's okay because first of all I realized I've only skipped 2 episodes, the wedding and the retreat episode. Then I watched the Daredevil and the finale, and I loved the Daredevil episode. It was great.
It was
I
great.
thought
Yeah.
I don't understand why people were upset about that at all. But I watched these also with Ashley, and so when we switched the finale, it was stupid. It's just stupid. I'm sorry. It's not funny enough to destroy its continuity that much. It wasn't funny enough. Like those things you mentioned are like all-time classic comedies, where comedy is like, top tier and like the main thing going on there. Like you can destroy your continuity if the comedy is there, but this is just like, I don't get it. Like it's just like, oh, I shouldn't have given a shit about anything that happened in this season because they don't. So here we go.
I don't know why that's your takeaway at all. I loved it.
I know you loved it. I hated it.
What did you love about it?
I love that instead of like some exactly like she said, instead of like some random typical third act save the world, some stupid villain, oh, whatever his name gets Hulk powers. It's like, it's so cliche, it's so dumb, it's overdone. She leaned into
going to be save the world. It was going to, reveal her actual antagonist and have her actually fight the antagonist, the people who have been hounding her this whole time. And instead, everyone just breaks character, solves things off screen, becomes daytime, and we have to act like we care about anything that happened in the show. I don't
agree with any of that. I mean,
that's
issue
what
is
happened.
that she what?
That's what happened, though.
You're grossly exaggerating what happened. Like, we're supposed to still care because she solved her problem without fighting. That was the main takeaway.
She solved her problem without fighting by breaking the continuity of the universe.
Okay, and what is...
So that's silly. That's
wow, it's like we're
dumb.
watching a comedy, Mike. Oh my god, a comedy is silly, guys. News at 11.
I can't tell it's a comedy because most of it's not funny.
Okay, Mike. Whatever you say.
I think it's like
It's not funny enough to pull this off.
Mike, you
I
could
think
say
it's true to
it's
the
not funny
character
to
though.
me.
If it's
A lot of people
yeah.
are
And
enjoying this series.
the other thing about these fourth wall breaks are it makes sense when Deadpool does it because he's supposed to be crazy. Everyone else sees him doing it and like, who are you talking to, you crazy
Isn't she
guy?
known for this?
He
She's known
Hulk-
for this in the comics.
Hulk-
I know
broke
that,
the fourth
but
wall before Deadpool
I
ever did.
understand that.
Okay,
But that's not the point. It makes
What
no
is the
sense
point?
for her because she's not a crazy person.
But that's the
It-
character though. It's like saying
Alright,
you
it's
know
fine.
Wolverine shouldn't have healing because it doesn't make sense.
I like how
people
before,
don't
like
heal
week before, you're like,
fast.
oh, when characters don't, are true to their origins, it's bad. And now it's like,
Oh, I
this
wasn't
character's
like
true to
that
her.
at all. And there's different things that matter. No, there's different things matter for different ways. I don't care about for the original idea. It makes no sense. I don't like fourth wall breaks unless it's funny. The whole goal of it is to be funny,
No,
and the
we've
whole thing is
established
funny.
You don't like it. You didn't find it
it's
funny.
fine.
The rest of us did. I don't know why you're
I don't
like,
care.
trying to-
I'm just telling you about
Mike
it. Why
doesn't
is
care
this?
about
Why
your
is it so
opinions.
offensive to you?
I'm trying to talk and say what I like, and you keep fucking interrupting me.
No, I wasn't done. But fine, whatever. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike. Continue to rant some more. Go ahead.
No, I said something like, I don't see how you could say that. So
And then
that's
Cole
why I
asked
didn't
me
think
what
it was
I
funny
liked,
enough for that.
And I was about to answer, and you interrupted again to go off a tirade on something you don't like.
Because what you're saying is a direct contradiction of what I said. You said, oh, that's not true or whatever. So I had to respond. What am I going to do? Sit here and have you trash me the whole time because I said something?
You're exaggerating. Like, yes, we're still supposed to about the character, and just because you disagree with the way the conflict was handled, or like that night changed a day, that suddenly makes everything
No, but it was, but
out the window.
it wasn't handled. It felt like it wasn't handled. It felt like it was just sort of made into a joke. There's no way.
The
like,
whole series is a comedy.
I know, but things still happen, and you still have like stakes and investment in the characters and how people move and go forward.
Oh, the stakes.
You want that.
The stakes weren't high enough.
No, that's not what I said. You keep
like.
putting words in my mouth. That's why I keep interrupting you. You're full of.
You
I
literally
said,
just said stakes.
I didn't say the stakes weren't high enough. When did I say that? I said they have stakes. They have character development. There's reasons why she wants to confront these people who are finally revealed, and then it's not confronted. It's done off screen. She talks to writers, and suddenly everyone changes their mind and becomes happy. And I'm supposed to be like, okay, cool. I cared about everything that happened now. I can't. That was it's my feeling. I'm sorry. It's only me. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's not only me. I'm sure there's tons of people who think the same way.
It is only you, Mike.
No, there are people that are upset about the finale. There definitely are.
Absolutely, and there are people upset at every single episode this season that they still continue to watch.
I'm just saying, like, I know what Mike is getting at with the way the finale ended up, and I completely.
And I will
understand
say
that.
this: Ashley hated it. She wanted to turn it off as soon as the fourth wall was broken, and she's seen the other episodes that I've watched as well too. She's not coming into this with some misogyny that is the undercurrent of any criticism of this show. But
it's very different than most Marvel shows, and so if you're going into it thinking it's like that's what Jim, you were starting this like you were assuming this is gonna be like another Marvel show that was gonna be more, I guess,
grand scale,
and
like be more purposeful or something.
I don't have a problem with the smaller scale or the personal conflict. Like I said, I'm interested in seeing the personal conflict get resolved, but it didn't really happen.
Right, and it's like expectations. I don't think this character's met that expectation for you, and that's fine. I don't have I don't care if other people don't like it. Like, I enjoyed the show. I thought it did exactly what it was set out to do. And there were definitely peaks and valleys. There were definitely epissodes that were weaker than others. Like, I personally didn't think the retreat episode was all that great, but
I love that episode. But go on.
like,
I was already
and you like that episode, so it's like every episode, everything is going to be different. Like, I love that they brought all these characters back. They definitely missed one that should have been there. Someone with two N's and a Y where you don't think it's going to be.
They should.
But that character should have been there too. But this finale was exactly what I expected based off of what they were building on and how this character was developed throughout the series. Like, the one thing I will say that I did not like was when Banner came back. They are ruining some of my favorite stories in the comics, and
yeah, you were
destroyed.
I figured that much. I figured that much actually, Corey. Like, I didn't like that extra ending there we got. I love the around the table thing with Daredevil. I do get your point there, Corey. Like I was like, that one stung a little. So
Yeah, that was good. Like the little family part with Matt Murdock was good.
yeah. So I mean, let me just perspective, Mike wise. I know we need to move on from this conversation, but all of those feelings you had, I definitely understand, and I was getting those vibes until you just lean into the fact, because like yeah, you want to see a resolution to a story, you want that, but this show's not about that. It's a sitcom, is it not? I mean, it's based on it's a comedy that when you look back at it and how far they leaned into the finale the way they did, like they just said, fuck it, every other Marvel thing ends the way it always ends, and we're not going to do that. And they made fun of that. They poked fun at that all the time.
I
and
understand that. Just because they say it
really
out loud
good.
doesn't mean that they're smarter than everyone.
No, but I'm just
Like-
but there was, I mean, for me, like I feel like you're referring to Blazing Saddles and Monty Python as funny movies, right? And I feel like if you were in the moment watching those, would you have the same reaction would you have the same reaction to that as what you did to this? Like, is hindsight better?
I watched those movies, and
Those are also
mean-
movies that we all had like a.
They're
shorter...
like famous movies, though. Like I kind of knew what I was
Yeah.
getting into with those. Like I knew what I was getting into with those movies.
I mean,
Is
I
what I'm
watched
saying.
the Monty Python like when the Holy Grail as like a 10-year-old. I didn't know anything about it before that, and
Okay.
yeah, I was all about that. I
Right.
mean, you know that everything's ridiculous and the whole time, and people come and go, people get their arms chopped off, and it's just a flesh wound. This guy runs in reverse and over again. There's editing things the whole time. This show, obviously there was fourth wall breaks, but you never, sort of just rewrote things like that way.
Yeah.
And it just made me and other people, including my wife, tune out as soon as that happened. It's like, all right, so this doesn't count. It's right. This is adjacent to It Was Just a Dream to me. Like it's right there.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, what else have we been up to, guys? What
Can
else
I
have we
go
watched?
now without being interrupted, or
Go ahead.
go? Okay.
As long as you don't try to insult me while talking again, but that's fine.
I disagreed. Like, anyway, moving on. I think it was a great subversion of expectations. It was atypical of any Marvel show that we've seen so far, or movie. The rows with the Disney Plus interface coming up, I thought was funny. I actually was like, wait, what did I do here? Because I was holding my remote and I was like, did I hit this? No. But the whole thing where they were poking fun at Kevin, like that was just hilarious, I think, especially coming just from a viewer perspective. Like the whole fact that they even gave like the little robot like a little hat that he's wearing, because Kevin always wears his baseball hat, stuff like that. And I personally think that was a better plot line than her just fighting and smashing what's his name, Todd, or whatever his name was.
Yeah, something like that.
What really disappointed me was the Abomination thing. I really wanted more of an explanation for why he's there and more of him,
He's a
explaining
motivational
himself a
speaker
little
now.
better.
He's a motivational speaker.
Sure, but
I got that.
there was a pretty
I'd
big
say-
betrayal.
It's disappointing throughout the whole season for me, but it wasn't about him.
Yeah, that's true.
But past that, I mean, we got to see more of the other side characters and her friend. I forget their names, but her friend and the one dude that's a sneakerhead.
Pug.
The Pug. Oh, they're fantastic. Like honestly, I would love a show just even if we don't get like another She-Hulk, but like just based on them or like shorts.
There's
something like
awkwardness in that.
Hear me
like,
out.
it-
Hear me
that-
out,
that. Yeah,
guys.
when he had to be an incel, that was great.
Yeah.
Those two plus Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, Jimmy Woo's got to come back. We
Like,
got to see
those
a
guys.
Jimmy Woo and
You want to put Jimmy
Wong.
with everybody, Jim.
Jimmy Woo can pair with everybody, absolutely. But I mean, just think about that series with just a side character. Just make it a side character. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But all right.
But go on. I mean, I like the now where she's like, "Oh, when are we gonna get the X-Men?" Like, the little tongue in cheek, little thing at the audience, stuff like that. It was a funny, and like, it doesn't really ultimately matter at the end of the day how she beats the villain. She, takes control of her life back. The whole thing. We didn't even talk about the intro with the whole.
Well, that was a great
show.
intro. I love that intro.
That was
I did like the intro
excellent.
because I remember
An
the
homage
old
to the
show
original.
a little bit.
Yeah, it was an homage to the original, so that was pretty awesome. But I mean, at the end of the day, it subverted expectations. It ended like a comedy should, where, hey, okay, like we resolved the conflict, characters grew. I felt like She-Hulk's in a better place, both professionally and personally. And having seen her and Matt Murdock have the chemistry on, like, excellent. Because I wasn't sure if he was going to show up in this last episode, even though he showed up and was like, oh man, like I was just kind of funny. to see him like be so like lighthearted and playful as opposed to what we've seen him in the
His
book show.
moody and broody.
Right, the
Yeah,
moody and broody.
yeah.
And I think he has come out and said that because people are still like, oh, is this really the Netflix version? Is he's like, yeah, it is. And it's just he's in a better place than he was in the Netflix show. So it shows characters don't have to be
Get to see him again in
dark
Echo.
and broody. Right, exactly. So characters can grow. They don't have to stay in the same, corner that they are for eternity and stuff. So lastly,
unless you're Batman.
right? Well,
Different. That's a different
It's different.
subject.
But besides from that, like the end stinger with Wong showing up and taking Abomination out, I think that's going to directly talked about Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
and we'll get
I agree.
More
into the
news on
a
that
little
later.
bit.
We'll get more news on that later, guys.
Well,
So what else have we been watching, guys? Mike, anything else?
Me, I also watched the previous episode, which I loved, the Daredevil episode. I
That was
loved how
great.
he was represented. I love how he was a little different, but still pretty clearly the same character. I liked how they bounced back and forth between their styles and tones and their attitudes, and they did both, like did what they would do, and it was, I liked it a lot. So much so I'm like, all right, let's watch the finale now. I went right into the next one, and then I didn't like it. So there's it's just big contrast for me. And then also Ashley got like a free Stars trial, so she wanted to see No Way Home for the first time, and we got about 2 hours into that before she and the baby got tired. So right about where all the Peters show up is about when we stopped, which is unfortunate, but it's fun to watch that again. And she was only paying half attention to it, which was kind of weird to me, but I was just
That's
like, oh yeah,
great
this
movie,
and
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie of like that the MCU has done since Civil War, I think, easily.
Okay.
I probably like it more than Civil War too.
All right.
So I've watched that again.
Corey.
well, I've just been watching a lot of sports, so
Yeah, that's the same here.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Tony.
I finished Rings of Power.
Nice.
season.
How'd that finish?
I liked it, but I'm not like, I wouldn't say like a hardcore Token nerd. Apparently, some
not.
people who are very into the Token universe are unhappy with it on like lore aspects or something like that. I don't really know. I try not to get too deep into that because once people are like citing the Silmarillion, I'm just like, man, good luck. I couldn't make it to that book personally. So
The
more power
ages-
to you. Yeah, I'm just like,
let
This
this
is-
stand on its own.
Yeah.
Come on.
but overall, I thought it was fantastic. Quite literally, just the way they did the visuals, it was just amazing from start to finish. And obviously, Amazon blew like shit ton of money producing the series, but at no point did I ever go like, oh, this is a TV show. It was like
Yeah.
movie production budget, quality from start to finish. So, I really got to praise it for that. But also, it was just really refreshing the whole time seeing so many different fantastical locations that just wasn't. It was more what do I want to say? Not like bleak or dark or just deserty, and I don't want to throw shade at Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones has their own visual style. But coming back to the Token stuff, which I don't find Game of Thrones did, was really refreshing. And hopefully, we see more of a return to that in terms of like other project being, whether it's Lord of the Rings. But I really liked all the characters. There was a couple twists. Some I saw coming, some I didn't. But it ended on such a note that I'm like, damn, I gotta wait 2 years for the next season. Kind of unfortunate. But I think it's the same thing with House of Dragons. I heard where the last episode, I haven't seen it.
Yep.
And I know there's still episodes, but I know people are going nuts on the internet for that. And
I
then
heard that people are loving the House of the Dragon.
Yeah,
which-
so far so
good
good
for
from right
them.
here. Although
up
they
until this
did
last
say,
episode, like I said, people are like, I heard some people
Yeah.
like being like swearing off the
Yeah.
season now. I'm just
They
like,
also said it was-
I knew it.
they also said it was too dark. It was too dark
Mhm.
again.
Yeah, it's the more things
Common
change, the
visual
more
problem.
things stay
Yeah.
the same.
I mean, at least
something like
it's not those guys that did it, and
D&D,
it was. I
yeah.
think the director was the guy that did the Battle of the Bastards episode. That's the guy that's
okay.
showing in this.
Cool.
But
Alright.
anyway, I did remember
Um,
something else I watched. If you didn't have anything else, Tony.
that. No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Corey. What do you got?
The second part of Spy Cross Family. Have you seen that, Tony?
Oh no, I got to catch up with that.
That's out now. It's like 3 episodes, I think, available maybe. And it's it's really good anime. So
Cool.
check it out.
Cool. Oh yeah, I watched season 4 of Stranger Things finally.
No. Wow. Finally.
That was a long watch.
You hadn't seen that yet? I
No.
forgot that. Oh,
Yeah.
so what do you think? I don't even remember. I'm trying to remember what that
Second-
was.
Easily the second best season of the show, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not going up against much in the other ones. I didn't think I mean, not that they were bad, but they weren't. There's nothing
I
spectacular.
got that running up the hill song stuck in my head. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. That just keeps going. But no, I thought it was really good. I just you know what's funny is like I don't understand why they didn't break up the episodes more. Like, why give us a 2.5-hour episode?
Why not?
I mean, it's fine, but I paused it.
They specifically said that. Sorry to interrupt. They specifically said that the reason the finale is that long is because people, the way viewing habits are, they know, people expect things in the second to last episode, and the last episode is kind of like wrap up, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
so by
same here.
doing one long episode, they wanted to avoid people knowing when or where like things were going to happen. Characters keep the
Got it.
suspense up. I think I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but I thought it was interesting because there were parts where I'm like, "Oh, is this happening?" And it's like,
See,
"Yeah, I guess this is
but
happening." Okay.
I still feel like an hour of that episode could have been another episode. Like, I paused it
No,
like
it
about an
absolutely could
hour
have
in.
been, sure.
You know, I just
Sure, absolutely.
about an hour in. I think it was like 54
It's
minutes
two-
in that episode. I
It's
kinda
2
just,
hours, right? So over
It's
2
two and a
hours.
half, two,
Yeah.
220.
Yeah, absolutely.
About 54 minutes in, I just kind of like paused it. I like took a break, did some other stuff today,
I think
and then went
most
back.
of us said
and
that
finished up.
we broke that
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't
just
think I did.
or treated it
But-
like a movie or something like that.
But yeah, just look at it as a movie. Just prepare yourself for.
yeah, I know. But when
That's
you
right, 'cause I
when you
think-
had
I think I
blitzed,
had
the
mentioned
series.
that they were going to say if it wasn't for COVID, they would have released theaters.
Oh, cool. That's cool. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to season 5. Like, it looks good finale. Like, that's gonna be it for it. So could be interesting. All right. And that's pretty much it because that's a lot of stuff. That's a long show. And oh no, I did play. I'm sorry, that's Gamecast. Movie's done, so we're good there.
Nerd shit.
Yes. I'm in and out of the conversation apparently, but yes. All right, let's move into the box office, which I don't have open yet, but it wasn't great.
Really
Was it?
isn't.
No,
Anything even come out? No, I think did it?
there's not much.
I don't even
no.
think next week's gonna be that good.
No.
Even with
Halloween ends. You know,
Oh
Halloween
no,
ends did
Halloween
40
Ends
million.
did do. Yeah, it did do well.
It did
I forgot
40
about
million. That did pretty well. Wow.
is it
Smart-
really the end though?
It's
No.
never going to be the
Mm.
maybe of like this continuity, but they gotta. It's too
Yeah.
negative.
This is when you reboot it now.
Exactly,
Halloween
that's what I'm
ends,
saying.
and now you get the reboot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween
New
begins.
Just call Sony. They know how to do this perfectly.
Mhm.
But you don't even need to wait a year. Just do it. Just do it right away. Just announce it tomorrow. We have a reboot happening. Let's see. Smile was number 2. Lyle, Crocodile 3. Women, King, Amsterdam. Not much,
Nothing's.
but good for Halloween Ends though. 40.1
Yeah,
million is a
that's-
pretty good haul for a
that's solid.
Halloween movie. Yeah.
So,
So cool. Opening this week is Shazam, which is going to tie us into
No, not
Shazam?
Black Adam.
Black Adam. My God, sorry guys, it's been a long day. Black Adam, which is opening this week. I'm going to see it on Sunday. I thought we'd get into
Really?
yeah, I'm going to see it on Sunday. There's a lot of news that ties together with this that got me really excited. And Tony, we're gonna get to your
You got
conversation.
excited, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Henry Cavill guy. I do like the guy now.
There was a
Yeah.
time when you said these characters will never be on screen again, ever
Well,
together.
Well,
I
hold
agree.
on.
I did agree
That
with
was
that.
a correct statement, actually, especially.
It wasn't
coming up-
correct.
Well, no.
Obviously, he's not correct.
With the information we had, that was
Together.
correct.
Also
took,
together.
It took The Rock petitioning and WB executive leadership leaving the fucking industry to make this happen. So I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it was like far-fetched to say that for 5 years when something's not true. That's pretty damning.
The Rock basically I mean, he said he's not doing it without having that. That was basically what he did. So when you have that kind of a character, that kind of actor that has that kind of pull, I get it. But yeah, so Henry Cavill, we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
But I was kind of excited for that, and then so I
Rock
booked.
was
I got the
leaking this
tickets.
shit himself too.
Yeah,
It's
he
like,
was.
What the heck you doing,
But
man?
so I got myself tickets for it. It's not getting.
You bought tickets?
Very good reviews. No, I get tickets. I'm going to see it Sunday.
How are you gonna see it if he's not buying tickets?
Yeah, I'm going to see it Sunday. Well, Amanda's a big rock fan, and then Matt is Matt. You know, Matt wants to go see this.
Oh, of course.
So so I basically, once the news leaked about Cavill, I was like, okay, I have to go see it, and so we bought tickets and we're going to see it Sunday morning matinee. But it'll be good. I like seeing movies in the morning. I don't know why. I just like it better.
Sure.
You get more energy from me. I'm an older guy, so I don't want to get at night. I like the morning stuff. But anyways, so it's not getting great reviews though. That's what I'm trying to tie in here. Surprised by this Rotten Tomato score?
No.
Down to
no.
what's it at? Down to 47%, I think.
I mean, I didn't expect anything.
Critics don't like, this
Maybe a
universe,
little
so-
higher. I thought it was gonna be above 50, but I wasn't
Well,
thinking it was
It's
gonna
it's making a comeback. It's at 50 now.
Oh.
be, no.
So that's 52 reviews in now. Before it was at 47 with 47 reviews. So making a comeback.
I don't know. I think The Rock
This
is
is-
too much of The Rock to really be a character other than The Rock.
Maybe.
I just like, if you're gonna be a superhero, like The Rock is not the guy to
He loves his character.
transform into a hero. Like, I don't Black Adam. If you know Black Adam, I don't see The Rock playing Black Adam, and now like it's The Rock. Like, I just think The Rock is The Rock, and everything he does is The Rock.
I mean, he's killing people.
I mean, so Black Adam, I don't know much about him. I know him as a villain for Shazam mostly, and I don't.
Mhm.
I kind of view him sort of like how Aquaman. Aqua Bro has nothing to do with Aquaman, but he made him his own, and people like it. So maybe that's what they're going for here.
Maybe.
This is one for me though, where I don't think I'm going to trek out to the theater in my situation to see this. I do wish this was still, day one on HBO Max, because I would absolutely watch it. I'd
mean,
be interested
if
to
it
see
was
this
free.
cameo. I like
Yeah,
I like Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, I want to see his Dr. Fate. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
this is up your
I'm
alley.
very interested in this, but I don't see me carving time out to get to the theater with a kid at the moment.
It's
for
not
this.
worth your trek for it. Okay. I mean, we'll see.
It's
I'll
not.
see
It's
it and
not
let you
worth
know.
the arrangement to
Yeah.
do it at this
I'll
point.
see it and I'll let you know. Now, the other thing I wanted to tie together with this is, Tony, we had a discussion on Discord real quick where you wanted to continue that on Facebook. Basically, it was about Henry Cavill getting recast. My assumption is because of how bad those movies have been with DCEU, it's time to just start a new slate. But what was your issues with Cavill coming back?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you probably, because I missed the game or the movie cast last week. But my issue with, I have nothing against Henry Cavill. I think he can play a good Superman.
Yeah,
It's just the scripts that from Snyder didn't give him the opportunity to portray the character in a way that I found interesting. It was well, like we talked, super depressed man and stuff like that. It's like,
absolutely.
that's
We
not
said
the
that on
angle
there,
you take with that character, in my opinion. Especially if you already have Batman and you're trying to connect them to. It's like, which one of you has more trauma? I don't know at this point. But
They both
it's
have
been so
Martha.
many, right, exactly. It's been so many years too. It's just like, why are we doing this? Like, okay, so you're getting Affleck back for maybe a movie appearance, movie and a half.
It's supposed to be it's supposed to be just a movie.
Right. Who knows at this point now? And then now you're gonna bring Henry Cavill back. But from my understanding is he's only coming back because Rock petitioned for it, and Warner Brothers current executives think Rock is the guy to pin the hopes and dreams of the WB DCEU going forward. So they want to make him happy, and plus Henry's married to Rock's Henry's agent is the Rock's ex-wife. So there's some.
I did not know this.
Yeah, there's some connection there. There's some connection there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can
So,
look that up.
I mean,
hold on, really quick. Then, so to finish my statement, the thing is, I just feel it's him coming back purely for Rock's egotistical reasons, because he wants to come and show Superman up because Superman is a #1 DC hero, whatever, blah blah blah. And this just reeks of the whole Fast and the Furious fiasco, which again I think Vin Diesel was kind of like the shittier one of the two of them in that whole situation. But
Definitely.
this just gives me so much deja vu of the whole situation. I'm like, okay, there's maybe The Rock isn't completely blameless in this situation anyway.
So it could be. You're right. We don't know it's going to get that far.
We don't know. Right. But
if they're trying to, because there was some released images about how they used to film Fast and Furious because they couldn't show Vin Diesel being shorter than The Rock.
Yeah. Right. And even the fight sequences, they had to make sure that each one of them had an equal amount of blows, you know,
Yeah.
because they couldn't be shown up again. I'm just like, really, guys? Like, come on, it's a
Yeah.
fucking movie. But
Yeah. But anyways, they are making, apparently because of all this, DC has greenlit a Man of Steel 2 finally, or some whatever it's going to be. It's not a Snyder movie right now. It's a new writers, new director. And
Is it though? Is it the same character?
as far as I don't think
Might
so. And
be.
I said that last week.
Why?
To you.
And that doesn't make any sense to me. Why you wouldn't have him if he wasn't the same character?
No, I know.
well, everything's
And
getting
not no
fucked with the
offense. Like
Flash.
I love Amy Adams, but I think she's like, is she gonna be a part of this? Like, I don't know if
Who
she wants to
knows?
like.
Who knows?
So then you don't have Lois Lane, and like, what are you doing? Like,
That's what I'm saying,
what
like-
is- so you're gonna recast this now? It's like, why bother bringing him back? It's just such a silly thing.
No, he'll be
Apparently
the,
Keaton-
he'll be the same. They'll get a new Lois Lane, and they'll
Yeah.
get a new Jimmy Olsen that doesn't get.
That's what I'm trying to tell you
think
guys.
they'll do that. They don't need to be there.
Live one, you mean? One that's not
Yeah.
dead?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you guys. I don't think it's the exact same Snyder Superman we're gonna get. I just don't. I said it last week.
No, it
I'm
might
telling
be.
you.
It's just again, we don't know because the Flash is gonna fuck with everything next.
Yeah. Oh,
Who
that's
knows?
the funny part.
And who knows?
So
They
DC
did so many research this summer that who knows what the fuck is even going on now.
Everybody thinks he's back, and it's funny is that DC has released a whole bunch of news this week, which we just mentioned a few of it. But the Flash 2 is getting a script worked on already, so they've ordered a Flash 2. Ezra Miller will not be attached.
There's
No, he
there's
will
no
not
way
be
you're
attached.
Ezra.
They will not be attached
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it.
I mean, Ezra maybe
and-
he's spending like the next 26 years of his life or their life in
Yeah.
prison. So
Yeah, we'll see about that one too. I didn't even put that news there.
Ridiculous to not plead. Yeah, he pleaded not guilty to something that has. They pleaded against it. Yeah, not
Yeah.
guilty to something that has like 26 years attached. I don't know what they're
Anyway,
thinking there,
no,
but
definitely not. Get this guy or get them out.
Get them out.
Yeah. yeah. So yeah, but I mean, DC's got that happening. Keaton was, like I said, apparently is the Batman. Where Affleck, I'm gonna guess Affleck's the one that gets killed in the Crisis kind of thing they're gonna do.
I'm sure he
But-
would
Who knows?
welcome
No.
that.
How do you kill
gets-
someone when there's multiple verses of them anyway? So
Yeah.
I don't know if that even needs to happen.
I will say. All right. Let's move out of DC. Let's move out. Get a little palate cleanser here with. Well, that's not a good palate cleanser. Let's not go with that one yet. I guess we're going into Marvel. I can't lead off with
Yeah,
Robbie
yeah,
Coltrane.
I know.
Robbie Coltrane's not a good one to go into here.
No.
Let's go to Sky High. Sky High. So apparently, Disney has released news that they're doing a sequel to Sky High set 5 years after the events with the original actors attached: Daniel Panabaker, Michael Agarano, and Nicholas Braun, who all played the main three from that movie, all coming back. No news about Kurt Russell yet, so just we
How
don't
do
know.
How,
5
how do you
years
set
later.
it 5 years later when it's 20 years later?
I don't know. I don't know. How are they going to do
Man,
that?
kids these days, you know.
Do you
I
age
guess.
them? That
No,
kinda
I
seems
mean,
like a weird.
you have
It's just like
30-year-olds play
Incredibles 2.
teenagers, I guess, other times, so you
Yeah.
can maybe get away with that. I don't know.
Why not just set it to like 15 years later though? Like just start your story then. Give
It's
us
just like
some
I
time.
mean,
Incredibles
we
2.
all
There was
agree
like a
that it's
decade
called
between
classic.
Incredibles
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it was like
I
a
know.
year later.
That's animated though. I mean,
No,
you're not
I
talking
know.
about
But I'm
live
just
action.
saying, like, people.
It's totally
I
different
don't,
thing.
I don't think on they just want to see it. And you know, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, I actually think I watched this during COVID. That I had never seen this before when it came out, and I thought it was a
That's
little.
right, you did. That's right.
I thought it was a little hokey. Like, it was
Oh, of
charming. Don't
course.
get me wrong. It was charming. Don't
That's
get me
the
wrong.
idea.
But I think it had just been built so high up over the years, and that when I finally watched it, it just couldn't live
Yeah,
up to expectation.
you definitely you missed, I think,
Yeah.
the age period of where it became like charming and
Yeah.
whatever.
It was fun. It was supposed to be that
I
style.
could see it.
That's the style I was going for.
I could see it
Yeah.
being fun, and hopefully,
Yeah.
you know, the sequel's really good too. You know, and I'll be present this time around.
All right. As
Real
I
quick,
mentioned,
just to talk. I don't know if you had this. Like, actually, I can see, but talk about sequels that are 20 years later or more. There's a Twister sequel in the works.
Yeah,
No
I did see
way.
that. That is
Wait.
it's called Twisters.
The
I think, or something
return
like
of
that.
the Twister.
but like, how?
Wow. Climate change.
Uh,
It will
I
be. I
know.
guarantee it's going to be climate change.
Probably.
I will bet 1 million fake Monopoly.
Probably.
That's what it's going to be.
all right.
The Revenant writer is working
Oh.
on it. So
Okay. All right. As I mentioned before, really quickly, Robbie Coltrane unfortunately passed away.
Hagrid.
Hagrid
From,
from Harry Potter. for those of you who don't
Valentin.
know. Yeah, I mean, 72 years old. You know what's crazy is when I first saw this news, that I immediately thought back to the just recent Harry Potter 20 years later thing they did, and on that, interview for that special, he even says he's like, when I'm long gone, I'm so happy to know that people are still gonna be able to experience Hagrid, and it's just like, oh man, and it is true. I mean, it's like Arya, for instance. My daughter here, she loves Harry Potter, and she loves the movies. She's really getting into the books just now, but she loves the movies, and he is Hagrid. I mean, that is Hagrid.
You're a wizard.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he's gonna be known for that over any other.
Absolutely,
getting
100%.
to yeah, I mean, just always recognizable, and that's just it's such a great role. Man, it sucks, but you know,
Life goes on.
And
life
to me,
goes on.
he's always going to be Valentin from GoldenEye and World Is Not Enough.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, no, he was
also
great in
one
that
of
too,
the
though, Mike. He
one
was
of the
great in that.
toughest objectives to find in Statue Park, because he's just hidden in one of those trailers. It took forever for me to find him.
Yeah,
So
was this
he was the
wait? Was he the
objective.
one? He wasn't in Gold. He wasn't in Goldeneye, right? He was in after that.
He was in GoldenEye
Was he the one
and
that's?
World
Oh,
Is
he was
Not
the one that
Enough.
was who's strangling the cat. That was the line from Goldeneye. Like he was the club,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Okay, that was
yeah.
him. Right. I knew he was
And
in
then
the other
he
ones.
he
I
had
remembered
he
it.
had the caviar thing in World Is
Yeah.
Not Enough.
Yep. I remember that one. So, all right. Let's see. Back to Marvel or into Marvel. We didn't go to Marvel yet. So Harrison Ford.
Been in
I
Marvel.
think we saw
We teased it in
rumors.
the beginning. We're finally
did.
getting to it.
Harrison Ford has been cast as Thunderbolt Ross as the recast. We wondered about this, I think, last week even, if they were going to recast. But Harrison Ford, weird grab for that, right?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily a big fan of this casting.
I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. I've thought about it all week too. Like I'm like, not all week, but you know what I mean. I'm like, when I saw the news, I'm like, I don't like. I mean, I don't mind him. I just don't know how that works. I don't know what their thought was for this.
It's kind of weird in my opinion, just because, I don't want to sound like an age or anything like that. But I mean, Harrison Ford is old, right? And it's just like,
Sure.
how many more movies of this is he going to do? Especially if you just go back to like Star Wars. Like he fucking hates doing the Star Wars movies, and I know he doesn't hate like Indiana, but they don't come out with Indiana Jones movies at anywhere near the same rate as Star Wars movies, right?
I thought he had said he was going to retire after Indiana comes out. Like,
Of course,
I
dude, but like the money always talks, man. The money
guess.
always
It
talks.
just seems like a weird get though. Like, why not go a little bit younger?
No, I
A
know
little
that's
bit,
that's
no?
what I'd say. And like,
Yeah,
for the star power, sure, absolutely. But like the thing is, if we want true what I expect for the character with Thunderbolt Ross, like this is going to be more than just one movie. It should be a movie, two movies at least, and a TV series. That we know of, and stuff like that.
And
So-
I mean, Red Hulk, come on.
Right? Like I want to see that. So if I don't see that,
Then you're
I'd
gonna
personally be a
recast
little-
again, though.
right?
Like,
And then you have to
but
recast again. It's just like,
yeah, no.
Maybe
he's 80
he'll
years
maybe
old, right?
maybe
He's
he'll
80
do a
years old.
deal, the same deal Bruce Willis did. They can CGI him up, especially if they make him go red early.
Yeah.
There
I
you
just
go.
think it's silly.
Not to mention he's the healthiest 80-year-old I've ever seen. I
No,
expect
no.
him to be around for
Yeah, he's not-
about
I
15
mean,
more years, honestly.
medical like advancements in today's day and age are ridiculous, and people are
Oh,
living longer than ever.
he
But
also
like at the
broke his
same time,
hand on Force
Yeah.
Awakens.
but at the same time, like I just think for me, he's too much of a name for this character. I
It
think
does-
he's too big of a personality, a well-known face. It's like you want this character to kind of be that character. Like that's what
Just like you're
been
saying with The
great
Rock,
about Marvel.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the thing like with Henry Cavill is like he kind of wasn't really that well known when he was
big,
playing
yeah.
Superman, and so like you could see him as Superman. You're not really seeing him as anything else. Here it's like Rock is the Rock. Harrison Ford is is Harrison Ford. He's either Indiana Jones or he's
Solo.
Han Solo,
Yeah.
and it's like those are the characters you think of with him. And now he's gonna be in this Marvel movie, and he's just gonna kind of take the spotlight away from, in my opinion, like the spotlight away from what's actually happening. It's like, oh, it's Harrison Ford. I'm not paying attention to the character. I'm thinking it's the actor, and that's where I think Marvel's done a good job before with getting actors that are below the
Don
radar.
Cheadle,
Yeah, I
There's
mean, just like
some-
even like
Mark Ruffalo,
everybody that they've casted in the initial Avengers movie, except for maybe
Scarlett Johansson.
Exactly, except for maybe Scarlett Johansson. Like everyone else, you could see them as those characters because you're not really paying attention to anything else they're doing. So it's like, well, and maybe obviously Robert, but he like epitomized that character. He was that character. He kind of
Beforehand.
rejuvenated
Before that
his
character
career.
existed.
Yeah, exactly. So
Uh,
it was easy to see him as that character, and yeah, and I just think now they're starting to pull in these bigger names because these actors want to be in these Marvel movies, and so like they'll take maybe lesser deals or accept deals that get them in these movies so they can get those residuals or whatever. It's just like I'm not necessarily a big fan of all of this big name actor hirings.
I do think that it is a bit of a stunt casting for sure, but I think the reason why is, well, they have to recast because unfortunately the other actor died, and they're like, who would make people not be like, oh, this is a recast, like second rate version. It's like, oh, you get like the biggest A-lister you can, and so then it's like, all right, it doesn't feel second rate anymore. And you will draw some more eyes. I'm a big Harrison Ford fan. It'd be interesting to see him in the MCU, even at 80, whatever. But yeah, it'll be distracting. But that's kind of how, I don't know. It's how all big names are a little bit at some point. So it's not like they can't be in anything ever again once they're known.
yeah,
But that's always an argument you can have. But I see why they did it, of course, just because if you're gonna recast an older guy, get the older guy. That's kind of why they did this.
Yeah. All right, we'll see how see how it turns out. Lastly in the news, Mephisto. Apparently, this leaked recently. Mephisto was going to be played by Sacha Baron Cohen.
He's apparently in the
Ironheart series. Yeah. So it looks the part.
Yeah.
Mephisto's essentially the devil in the MCU. So
Yeah.
He's
I mean, he looks the part.
That's
So
Spider-Man's marriage.
yeah. So we'll see how that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that's what making its rounds. So I think that's actually true.
Played a big part in Wanda's Kids too. So
yes. So, all right, and that's gonna wrap up this episode of the Moviecast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Once again, we're on Twitch, streaming live Tuesday night, starting 8:00. Tune in, subscribe, leave us comments, leave us chats, whatever. YouTube the following day. Hit that, smash that like and a subscribe button. Audios, Spotify, iTunes. We're good. That's gonna wrap it up, guys.